Hello, everybody. How are we doing? It has recently came to my attention that I am a bit cringe. But it's difficult to cringe when talking about one brand new Nakeyjakey album. Or Jakey, are we just going by Jakey? For some reason, in my basic white girl brain, Jakey, Nakey of the snaky bakey comes in like an earthquakey and shakes me all up. The promise of this album, starting all the way in what he says 2016, but most people probably became aware of it with the Pine Barrens. 11 months ago, he promised ROMCOM. Well, we're a little past February, but for that, we get a bonus song totaling in 8 songs to round off 28 minutes of brand new audible sounds. If you've never heard of this guy, if you're not part of the 1.81 million subscribers, it's right there. Do it yourself. I enjoy his quick, in-depth videos on all things ranging from life to video games to mostly video games.
Cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater, Derek Jeter, and a boy named Peter. Everybody has cheated in some way or another. A stinky math test, an affair with your second wife, getting Mountain Dew Baja Blast with your cup for water.
Captures the spirit of being a kid and being in love with the media, the beauty and simplicity of a childhood enthusiasm, while also making smart, intricate commentary based on dissecting it, seeing how did this get in front of my little eyes as a kid, and why did I react the way I did? Not too dissimilar from what I'm trying to do with my very channel. If there was, dare say, a male version of me, I would probably say it's Jakey. For whatever reason, Nakeyjakey just hits my Pavlovian brain in terms of nostalgia, in terms of jokes, in terms of sex appeal. He leaves me on the edge of my seat. So after about 11 months to dissect Pine Barrens and sip it in for all it's worth, I finally now have 7 more songs to supplement what we were given so soon, so early. I understand always feeling like there is something more you can do to it. And I think there are themes in this album about that very process within it, much like how Bo Burnham's Inside is a meta commentary on the process of being an artist. And it's like a pull, a tug and pull, a pull and tug. You're pulling, but you're also being tugged. Are you the tugger or the puller? Are you tugging or pulling? In life, there are 2 types of people. There are tuggers and there are pullers. And that brings us here today on this Thanksgiving week to give thanks to Jakey for finally giving us the music. We're going to start with something that's going to sound very familiar if you did watch the Pine Barren video. We got a little teaser, a little second snippet of what we could bring using a weird fucking creepy sorority video of just women chanting in a doorway.
We've been waiting for you all summer, and we're so glad you're finally here.
Which became his basis for like the entire sound of this album, or like this song for whatever reason. It speaks to like some weird want to be a part of something, but also knowing that it could be destructive for you. And so Drive Off a Bridge here is the extension of that I Wanna Go 85 clip. I'm sure you could do a whole video just breaking down Easter eggs, the references, the slight of just wordplay in every song. I just don't know everything in the world. Like, I know that sound in the song The Little is a specific sound from a video game. I thought for some reason it was GoldenEye. me, it's not. And that's one of the things you can actually really appreciate about Jakey is that throughout multiple listen throughs, you can catch on to new play on word, new jokes, new innuendos. This is the first time I've actually got to sit down and read the lyrics with this woman. Can you shut up, please? I think it's a really strong hook that I almost liked more as a tag-in or a tell-in to the Pine Barrens. I think it would have worked really strong as an intro, but I do like his additions to it. This is his first feature-length debut album, and god damn it, does he want to make a statement, not only about who he is as an artist, but he wants to expand and let people into him as a person. Tell my sister that I miss her, my brother I was wrong, my mother that I love her, my father to be strong. And then we go through the cousins and their cousins as the second cousins, the nieces, the nephews, the uncles, the aunts, the aunties, grandpas, and the grandma. He's explaining to all of them that like we separate, but you're also parts of my life. I still think about you, and that's weird. That's a part of growing up. You lose touch of family, you lose touch of friends, you're moving away. You say you'll call, you'll say you'll write letters, they send you checks for Christmas. Oh my God, do you cash that check? Am I more obligated to write them a letter back if I do cash a check? I don't know. That's undue pressure that I don't need. So I understand this feeling of wanting to go 85, wanting to just drive off this bridge, get out of here. He's not gonna kill himself. We're just, you know, it's just like a perpetual feeling that's sitting inside of me, telling me like, just hit the gas a little harder, turn this corner. What if we don't turn? Those are just your dumb thoughts. That's you doing it to yourself. Why are you doing it to yourself? You're making yourself anxious. Then we come to the second verse where we find out that Let's Pro is keeping his brain healthy, keeping me cool. Tats all over her, mean saying she's glad she met me are the tats. The pill description, girl, me too. So that's kind of funny that he's writing like a sexy verse to his antidepressants. And then he's saying, I'm going all in on this relationship, like not the 2-door, give me a 4-door. I like how Jakey always teeters on the edge of being cocky and being insecure. No one wants to listen to an artist that's always negative on themselves. So it's a fine line to walk between being this arrogant, confident, cocky rapper, but also being a very approachable, cool person. And I think Jakey does it in the right amount of way where it's not pandering. And what takes us out of the song is actually the hook for the next one. It's cool to see that when Jakey is given a full album to explore, he does use it to kind of intertwine the songs and comment on them and bring back themes and references. And then that leads us straight into the second one. Like, wow, a line apparently taken from Bring It On. Thank you, genius, with the supplementary material to fill in the blanks. Me, Gracie, full of blanks. This is when my connection to the music sort of goes a little further than just being a fun fucking jam to listen to. Jake is putting a lot on the line here.
I just checked my bank account too. Turns out a motherfucker rich.
He's being dead fucking honest. How he's not really rich. He's rocking a Honda Civic. He has a lot of money compared to fucking nothing. But he's taking his 20 milligrams each day of Lexapro, which we previously discussed for his depression. 27 years, but I'm seeing 28. If you don't know, 27 is sort of a weird age where a lot of people die. So it's an informal list of people who have died at the age of 27 years old. And these are all artists and musicians. You have Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse is in there. Jimi Hendrix is part of it. Damn, 27, dude. Being someone who is above 27, that feels incredibly young. That feels like an incredibly hard loss to make it past that age and to be aware of it. It's kind of haunting. You're kind of proud of it, but you also feel like you have to make it worth it, which makes the chorus, especially given another just horrific fucking shitting. So after that happening and having a song with that sort of connective tissue for me with the chorus, I feel like I could get gunned down any second. That's just kind of like a horror living in America.
It's just kind of like a fame.
I have methods. I'm on the right and right. I'm getting my shit together. I'm moving to a new town, getting on medication. I'm finding a new person to help me cope with my emotions. But then just something out of my control can just take me out in an instance because it, whatever. And that adds to the internal anxiety, which counteracts you trying to make progress on yourself and better yourself as a person. You could be the best you've ever been, but still feel the worst you've ever felt, you know? You guys know. You're here listening to me. Of course you know. And I don't know who says Nakeyjakey make a big mistake. What is this? Oh, it's a sample from Not Another Teen Movie.
Okay, Nakeyjakey, about to make a big mistake.
Of course, from Not Another Teen Movie. I love that. Jake, you find the best clips. You work them in a way where, like, it hurts. Nakeyjakey make a big mistakey, and the context of the song fucking hurts. So overall, 2 songs in, I say we're doing pretty well. And that's before we completely change the pace and move into everyday.
'Cause I can be the one for you every day.
Not too ambiguous. I think it's just about him cheating. Cheating's hard. It's difficult. People are complicated. Emotions are weird and complicated. Like, you think Princess Diana and King Charles are 2 just like cuties who are living the dream. But little do you know that they are complete opposite people from opposite worlds. She just wants to dance. Verse 1 is describing, I believe, at Uber, which, I mean, I read the Genius. That's what the Genius said. Get into a stranger's car. We check in the plates. We're going through the tunnel. We're going west, assuming this is New York shit. I don't live over there. I don't give a f, but he's going west. It's out of the way.
Once again, I'm in the back of a stranger's car.
This person that feels so wrong. This person that won't shut up. Oh, and then they appear at the top. You can't escape them. You can't escape them. How could it feel so wrong when you say it's all right? Something in his body is telling him, no, this isn't the moment. This isn't the person, because I can't be the one for you. Honey, this ain't making love to you.
Probably bad. My favorite part is when I'm cleaning up the drinks.
And then he describes his favorite part when he's like grabbing the bottles and the dishes from their previous night, their rambunctious night, rolling around on bearskin rugs and laughing into the moonlight that's beaming into her penthouse suite. There's like a shameness, a little sleekiness you feel to it as he's running through the music. And I haven't talked about like the production quality yet, but this is like the first album I played with my subwoofer in a while that not only utilizes the bass, but doesn't just blow it out to shit. The high ends, the low ends, a dynamic range on this album when the bass hits is really fucking clean every single time. His vocals are mixed really, really well every time. I love how he's playing with the mix. He's done a lot to craft these songs, and it really, really shows in every aspect of
15,
them.
if you're hearing this song, then it means that it's probably too late. 10 bands more than I'd ever seen.
So according to Genius, each verse in this song is a reference to a different artist. So rapping like it's 2015, a couple of references to Drake. Second verse, rapping like it's 2016. Then he makes a couple of references to... But I mostly enjoy it for the chorus and that I don't get no sleep because of y'all. No, I don't get no sleep because of me. sounds, giving it the feeling of more of a 80s style hip hop song where you throw the boombox down and you just like have very simple raps and choruses. It pushes away the connectivity, but I think it's something that's important to his influences as a rapper. And the one reference I did get was to Saint Like. I respect his old songs. I respect the originals, baby.
I could be the one to take you home. Late night staring at your phone.
So before I get sappy again and start getting on my soapbox, I do want to tell a story about my connection with Nakeyjakey. Oh, let me go into story mode. We don't really get out much out of the house. I mean, me and my partner, my spouse, but we were fortunate enough to vacation out in the Olympic National Rainforest. We stayed at a beautiful little inn at the Quinault Lake. One day, we decided to drive around the north shore of the lake. We drove around the south side, super simple. To get from the west side, under the south side, to the east side is like 20 minutes. But for some reason, the North Shore route went up and around and down through swamplands on a road that wasn't paved with no signs, just the rainforest surrounding you. So the soothing sounds of the rainforest as the sun went down were filled with Jakey rapping about how you shouldn't eat glass because it's bad for your teeth. Amongst trees that have been around for thousands of years, that have grown and lived. I was there with the person I cared about most, listening to the music that meant the most to us. It was just like a beautiful memory, just like a gorgeous time. And Pine Barrens was added to that playlist. Hold on, let's see if I can name this. This is a test. Let's see if I pass. I'm not gonna do it in order. It's gonna be in order of what I remember them from. I Ain't Dead Yet, Moby Dick, Saint Like, South Dakota. Oh, Cafeteria. I forgot Medium. Fuck. Bad fan over here. Oh my God, what am I on? Pine Barrens as a song, as a concept, is something that speaks deeply to me. But the concept, the idea of someone else taking your body, taking your spot, taking over as you. It's so easy to criticize people, to put them down, to diagnose their issues. But if you were genuinely in my place, if you genuinely live your life with the feelings, emotions, brain chemistry that I have lived through, would you change it? There's also something darker speaking in the song about something inside yourself taking over yourself. If I let this darkness take over, if I drag my metaphorical body out to the cold and killed it, is this letting go? You have a need, a feeling, a want to change, to be a new person, to be different, to just move to a different city. But is there value in keeping parts of your old self alive?
Maybe this is what I get for leaving you out in the cold. Drag my body to the woods and let me go.
I think it was interesting that he dropped a verse in it where there wasn't one before. It just repeated and had a good flow, kind of building up from there, which this is actually like the third iteration of this song.
Man, it's so like me to do this shit last minute. Living in the past like I'm still stuck in it.
I don't know if I like the verse. I think it explains a little more about his self-reflection and what he's going through. But I also think the song stood very well on its own. And I'm glad that there are two versions and he doesn't like delete one. The original Pine Barrens is so ingrained, so attached to me. I think anything he added or changed would feel off. I don't want to criticize this version, the addition of the verse, since I'm looking at this song and feeling this song differently.
I've been working on this shit since 2016. Yeah.
So it seems like in Reboks and the Nikes, we have finally let go, or this is the sound of letting go. Finally finishing the album, finally putting it out there, trying to chip away at something that you just want to complete, but knowing that it's too important to you. I feel the exact same way with my album. You can listen to it here for free. It's not as good as this, I promise you that. I also don't make hip hop music, so if you like Jakey, don't listen to my music. You would fucking hate it. Even though there may be a Barrens cover in the works. What would you think about that? Probably nothing. No one will listen to it. What am I doing? This song is him coming to terms with finishing art, with letting go, with moving on. You start this in one part of your life, and then perhaps you transition a second stage of your life, and now the art feels more reflective on who you were when you started and not necessarily who you are now. So the Pine Barrens was the battle between those two people, and then this seems to be the response of just letting go. And if you're not interested in reading the songs on a meta commentary on that level, I think it's perfectly fine and perfectly easy to read this song just on the level of a relationship. You took my time, my minutes, my years, my cracked phones, the DMs, you hit me direct. He's quite purposely talking about it like a relationship in order to get you to understand how he feels about this album, how it's something therapeutic, but it's also can be something destructive for him. It's something good and beneficial, but it's also something tearing him apart, just like all relationships can be. Adding just like one of my favorite song sample clips. This is the Rhythm of the Night. The Rhythm of the Night, old school fucking dance club, trance song, whatever you want to label it. Killer fucking beat, killer fucking tune. The fact that he's bringing it back to commentate on his music, giving it just like this really bombastic, larger than life tone without making it feel like obnoxiously overblown. It actually reminds me a lot of like a Timberland mix, like a Timberland circa 2000 Timberland mix. Timberland used to actually produce like every song before like DJ Khaled killed him to take over as the reigning DJ producer. Let's switch things up with Tommy Hanks. Finally, Jakey makes a promise on the title of the album, a rom-com, giving you a song that is fully themed. And it's strange because it's like, this is everything that I would hate. If you listen to my takes on music, this would seem to be against all my instincts. Pitchy vocals, cutesy lyrics about romantic comedies, making references to movies that came out over a decade ago. I would hate this shit almost as much as I hate this girl talking over me every 2 seconds. Please stop. Somehow, Jakey's able to just make it in such a way to pitch it, in such a way to give such an energetic, enthusiastic performance that I feel compelled to tears, that I feel my heart genuinely being stretched, pushing himself out of breath to get through these verses, to get through this chorus. Now, I'm sure it is possible that this could be an instance of a song that just gets stuck in your head, that gets trapped in there, that the voices, the Tommy Hanks, the way he says that, just gets stuck in you. So you listen to it and you listen to it. You got to make it catchy enough that you want to hear it, but you don't want to make it too catchy that you want to fucking lobotomize yourself. He gives you just enough repetitive edge to give you that hook, but he also gives you enough to chew on. And even though there are 8 songs on here, it feels like the pacing is just enough to get you through this emotional, just like pulling. Here we have more references to the Let's Pro. We have more references to Moving Away, how he talks about 10 Things I Hate About You, one of my secret favorite rom-coms from yesteryear. But honestly, in that era, rom-coms were solid. I would even take a Fool's Gold, a failure to launch hitch, if you will. The one time I could tolerate Kevin James. I like the references he's making. They do speak towards something true, because like those are cheesy, dorky movies, but there is something insatiable. There is something touching about the fantasy that they weave. It's the same reason Lifetime puts out fucking 30 Christmas movies every single year. Hopefully, he's building that relationship up with himself. Hopefully that him and Let's It Pro can now get his shit together to reconnect with a new person. I really enjoy this song. I think he took a big risk trying to do something that was so specifically tuned and pitched, something that had a potential to be kind of obnoxious like a lot of other music, but he keeps it restrained just enough that it genuinely feels like he's fighting through the music, and that only strengthens the themes that we've been exploring thus far in the album. And with that, we have come to our last song, Fathead, and I have had a lot to chew on, a lot to enjoy, a lot to hold dear. I'm also sad that we're saying goodbye.
Coming soon to own.
As a kid, they used to call me Fathead. Brother, sister, cousin, cause my hair was mad.
We decide to end the album on a somber note, kind of a sad one. Jakey looking over his childhood, his past, a relationship with his brother mostly, and how he wasn't let into it. He wasn't let into that world, and now he's that person not letting others into his world.
Oh, I used to love, 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 used to love. Now all I do is hate.
On my first couple listen throughs, I sort of skipped through this one because it is a slower jam, and I wanted to just restart the album and get to that beginning beat drop. There's something very sad that we've reached the end, and it's cool to hear the callbacks to the I Wanna Go 85, but you're also getting a sense that the ideation is still there. The guy with a Honda Civic is still here. He's still driving it. So no matter how much he wants to be a different person, he still has the same physical stuff, and he still has the same connections to people. So should we just pretend that we weren't here? Should we just pretend like we're always here? What's the best solution? How do you not feel guilty for all the people that you just don't talk to? Probably don't even think of you. And with that, I may not understand everything Jakey is saying in this album. I may not get every reference he is putting out there, but I think there's something so truly spoken, so genuine in how he's expressing his depression that I connect with it on a level that goes beyond the memes. And I truly hope that Jakey continues to make music, because I'm gonna give ROMCOM a total and utter jam it. I've waited so long for this record, and I don't know if there's any way that it was not gonna be a total jam it. There's been a lot of genuinely good music to come out of 2022, and I hope to talk about some of my favorite albums that I've heard this year. But ROMCOM is a special sort of thing that comes out once in a while, very much like Bo Burnham's Inside, where it just says everything you have ever felt but never been able to represent. Jakey, good job, my dude, my guy, flippin' wow. Congratulations. You've made it. Enjoy. Have you listened to Jakey's album, ROMCOM? Am I kind of a weirdo for this being the only rap I listen to? I have terrible taste. We've established this. I'm cringe. You don't need to tell me below. I know. I feel it. Thank you. I'm Grayson Todd. I appreciate every single one of you, especially all my very sad boys out there. Sad boys. We got to work together to pull each other out of it. Because if you're sad, then the girls are sad. And if the girls are sad, then no one's happy. I don't know where I was going with that. I made a weird gender thing at the end. Anyway, thank you for watching. Fuck this microphone. I'm Grayson Todd. I appreciate your I'm gonna leave now. Bye-bye.